that takes us right into our next one. I know we're pretty pumped about this one, as the person that, is fighting in this one is highlighted in our prospect video as number one. So, this fight is going to be pretty telling, but we got a welterweight bout, Sean Brady and Jake Matthews. Sean Brady, man, this guy is hot fire. He's won 13 in a row. Obviously, his record is 13-0-0, so he's won 13 in a row. 3-0 in the UFC. We touched on it earlier, but he was supposed to fight Bilal Muhammad, who I was really excited to see. But getting the vet in Jake Matthews is going to be great as well. So, school me a little bit on Sean Brady here.
Well, we saw him on Dana White's Contender Series. We saw Paul Felder kind of praise him throughout the fight. And it's funny, you would think he's such a fanboy, but it's funny. He was almost like prophesizing what was happening. He said, he's rolled and just basically wrestled with this kid more than 100 times, and he's felt his grip in a lot of these submissions. The moment he got that top down, he locked that in. This man just kept yelling and yelling. He's out. He's okay. No, he's out. Yeah, and then the fight was over. So, I mean, I think we talked about on the prospect watch as well. He talked about how that CFFC title, he won it the exact same way, almost like a finishing move in the WWE, right? We said the exact same thing, but he's looking good in all areas. I think his grappling is phenomenal. I think the groundwork that we saw was really good. He's always aggressive, looking for submissions, and frankly, on the feet, he looked really deadly too.
Yeah, absolutely. And another fight that we touched on that prospect watch was against, international pop star Christina Aguilera. But, even that one, domination and that scary guillotine finish in that second round, he's really showing what he can do here and mix up his game, between decisions, submissions, knockouts. Seems very versatile.
And when we want to talk about like the real skill there, for me, it was like the timing, right? Like you notice him time these shots, like a guy swinging and then just you feel a guy just like that's like you're making a guy kind of almost look dumb, right? Like that's real shit. Like that there was two perfectly timed takedowns there that I remember that were just so well done. And you can even hear Felder kind of fanboy that part too, just about how great that timing was. But those were the things that I took away, right? I saw borderline like raw elite skill in there when it came to the timing, the movements, little things like that. He just really did outclass his opponent in some ways,
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's touch on Jake Matthews a little bit. He does have a 17-4 record, but man, he's won 3 straight and 6 of 7 in the UFC, right? So he's really on a roll as well. We saw him take on our boy Diego Sanchez most recently, and the thing that stood out to me in that one was that he was really able to keep Diego at bay, right? He knows the explosive power of Diego Sanchez and the relentlessness, but he was really able to keep him at bay, right? And really limit that. That's kind of what stood out to me in rewatching that one.
Yeah, and I also think, so I've been watching Jake Matthews since his debut, and, the kid's pretty much at 15 fights, and he's at 26 years old. It's pretty nuts where he's at in his career. And I just think that fight specifically, I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Diego Sanchez, but I've also watched him for pretty much his entire UFC career, and there's obviously a bit of a decline there. So if it was the Diego Sanchez that we know and love and saw kind of in his prime, I don't know if it would have gone so similarly. I think Jake Matthews has a great game plan, and I think Sanchez usually goes in there and tries to do similar things and tries to mix it up a little bit, but. He's looking for some strikes. He's looking to grab some wrestling, wear you down, ground and pound, that type of stuff. But, Jake Matthews, when you look at the losses, when you look at a guy who's 26 years old with that many UFC fights, the losses stand out more than anything. And it's like you got James Vick, you got Kevin Lee, Andrew Holbrook and Antonio Rocco Martin. Antonio Rocco Martin was a ranked fighter who fought Neil Magny a little while ago, I believe. So these are real deal fighters, right? And that's for me where I see that, despite how much potential Sean Brady's showing, Jake Matthews his resume for 26-year-old is phenomenal. He might not have as much versatility as you'd expect at this point in his career. There's some, added aspects to that, but I love the movement. I love how he holds his frame. He likes to brawl. I think he's definitely going to be in the UFC for a long time.
And how do you see him kind of matching up against Sean Brady? A very different fighter than Diego Sanchez in his last one.
Yeah, like I would say, don't get caught up in being flat-footed. I think Sean Brady's going to really move around. I think he's going to be able to pick some real good strikes. I think hands are going to be up. I think you have to make sure that you're getting the best of your game too, right? And that's where I think when you look at this fight, how close are they? It really is kind of a tough fight to call on paper, in my opinion. As they say, like I'm going to take a Paul Felder outlook on this one, but like for me, the lines borderline don't mean shit here because you really do see guys that are fairly, even across the board. But like Sean Brady is looking really good, like 100% takedown, right? Like these are like 100% takedown defense versus 70% on Matthew's side.
Yeah,
It's the striking's really, really close. I feel like Sean Brady takes a bit more damage, but at the same time, it's not like he's throwing. It's not like Matthews is throwing as much as Brady is either. So I'm just looking at this fight. It's just so evenly matched up size-wise, everything. Even their average fight time is just about 12 minutes. So that just means it's something. I think that it's just a really close fight. And you can make the argument that it's not really prospect, but these are contenders. Like I feel like these guys both have skill to be contenders. And so whoever comes out of this is going to be in a really, really good spot.
Yeah, this is going to be a real tough one to call. I have no idea what the line is going to be. So I'm going to give a shot in the dark and give Jake Matthews the slight favorite here. I'll go at maybe minus 140.
And you know what? I was actually, I think, leaning towards that. But Jake Matthews hasn't done as much as Jake Brady. And I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. And I'm actually going to go with Brady getting some hype here. And I'm going to say minus 130. Just let's have some fun with it.
Oh. All right. And then, holy Moses, was not expecting this. Sean Brady is a minus 250 favorite.
Yeah, I'm being quite honest with you. Like that was a Vegas hype train that I was willing to take a chance on. But I only had minus 160 written down, and I even lowered that. But I think that the hype is there. I think Jake Matthews is, like I said, the versatility. Where Sean Brady looks good, I mean, that's the part that scares me. He's a great wrestler. The timing is there. But if this is a grinder fight, Jake Matthews can grind, and he can pull this upset off without question.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to avoid being on the bottom. He's going to have to avoid some of these tight grip submissions that are coming his way. Pick your shots. Stay away from, getting out-timed and getting outclassed either in speed or simply just being on the mat for too long. If this is a 3-round fight, you kind of want to make sure that you're ready to go in any area that you can win, because I just think that's going to be the toughest part. This could be a grueling fight if it doesn't end early.
And given their average times, I don't see it ending early. So that wraps up UFC 259. Man, what a treat that was. Discussing it with you. I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be a beauty. Make sure you don't miss this one. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. All our information is below. Always a pleasure, Siraj. This one was extra special, man.
My man, it's one of the best cards we'll probably see this year, maybe for a very long time. So I'm glad all these guys can on there. Let's just hope they stay healthy.
All right. Take care, my brother.
Peace.